Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new on my channel, then welcome. Today I am doing another makeup tutorial, and it is on the look that you can see on my face. I wanted to do something very colorful, very summer appropriate, because I know that you guys love makeup tutorials, and since we are in summertime, it just felt like the right thing to do. If you saw my previous video, which was all about trying to recreate a super beautiful, very colorful, almost like a neon-y makeup look, then you know that I got this sort of flash of inspiration as I was doing that makeup look. I just had that vision in my head that I wanted to do something with like yellow and blue together. That is what we're doing today. But yeah, if you want to see how to get this super colorful makeup look, then just keep on watching. I'm starting off with my face already primed, and I'm priming my eyes with the NYX HD Eyeshadow Base. I'm running that all over my eyelids, and then I'm just blending it in with my finger. I'm making sure that I get everything nicely blended in. I don't want any kind of sticky patches on my eyes. I want to get a nice even base. And then I'm going in with some eyeshadow. We're going to use the bPerfect Carnival palette today, and the first shade that I'm using is the shade Keen, and I'm taking it on a fluffy blending brush. This is the Zoeva 228. You guys know it's one of my favorite blending brushes, and I know that this is not the most common because normally I go in with a transition color first, but for this shade, because this is just so colorful, I really didn't have a transition color to go in with, so I'm just using the shade Keen. I'm building it up. It's kind of like a true yellow shade. It's not too bright, but on an eyeshadow base it kind of made it more bright, I think. And then I'm just basically making sure that I get it on the first half of my lid, and also I buff it in the crease, and then I go over it with a fluffy, even bigger blending brush. It is the BH Cosmetics #1 brush, and I'm just running that over the whole eyelid area. And then I go back in with the shade Keen, and I'm just building it up. And I just alternate between the two steps. So I go back in with some shadow and build the color up, and then I use the fluffy brush and blend out the edges. Next, I'm going to start building up the outer V, and for that I'm taking the shade Shuffle. It is also a yellow shade, but it's more like leaning towards orange. So as you can see when I'm blending it on my eyes, it does have some red in there as well. So I'm kind of just buffing over the edges, making sure that I get the outer V kind of flicked upwards, because I like that upwards look. It kind of really lifts the eye. And then I'm mixing the two shades together. So I'm taking both Shuffle and Keen, and I'm going over the whole outer V area and also buffing it upwards towards my brow. And then again going back in with that big fluffy brush to blend it out. So next it's eyeliner time. I used the Pigment Pomade in the shade Ocean Blue by Revolution Pro, and I'm again using tape because if you saw my previous video, I am not too confident without it. So I'm taking the trusty 317, which is a wing liner brush by Zoeva, and I'm just starting to trace my lash line, and I'm also flicking it out towards the tail end of my eye. So yeah, I'm doing this wing, which is trying to be very sharp. So yeah, this is, as you can see, I'm really trying here. But as I do say at the end of the video, you can absolutely skip this step and just move straight on to the lower lash line, because in actuality, if you do wear falsies, you won't be seeing the liner very well anyway. So yeah, it's kind of not very necessary to the look, but at the time I just wanted to see what comes out. So then I removed the tapes underneath my eyes, and I went over it with some makeup remover and just cleaned up everything that I had going on underneath my eyes that really didn't have to be there. And then I used the Catrice cream concealer in the shade Rosy Sand, and I just used that underneath my eyes to get rid of that darkness that I have there. And then it was foundation time. So I'm using one of my favorites. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and mine is in the shade Vanilla. As you can see, it is quite dark, so that is definitely my summer shade. And then I mixed together the two concealers. One of them is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10, and the other one is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just running both of them underneath my eyes and going over them with the Beauty Blender, making sure that I really blend it in well with the concealer. No, sorry, foundation. And then I did my brows off camera because it's just really, really boring to watch. So if you want to see what I used on my brows, you can check the description box. And yeah, then I went in with some Too Faced Ethereal, Born This Way Ethereal setting powder, that's the one. And I just set underneath my eyes to make sure that the concealer doesn't move around throughout the day and it doesn't crease. And then I've really been liking doing this. I took the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Light, and on a big fluffy brush, this is the Sonia Kashuk number 2, I'm just running it on my T-zone. So I'm making sure that I hit all the high points of my face. And then I use the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, which is a cream bronzer essentially. I'm just running that around my face, kind of the outer perimeter of my face. It really, really, really gives you that kind of healthy glow to the skin. And then I used a cream blush. I'm using a lot of cream products today. This is the Color Caramel Twist and Blush Stick in the shade number 42. And it is just the most beautiful, like light corally kind of hue, and I don't know, I love how sheer it is, but it's also kind of slightly pigmented, so it is the right amount of pigment, and it just makes your cheeks nice and flushed. And then I used a mixture of 2 highlights. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder, and I used the shades Precious Petals and Blossom Glow. It is more of like a pinky duo, but I don't know, I just really liked how it made my skin look. It's kind of just very, very fresh and very glowy. So yeah, and of course I went over it with the e.l.f. small tapered brush. As you know, I like to blend my highlighter into my face. And then I used the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in the shade Fantastic, and I'm just going over all the areas that I bronzed with the Chanel bronzer. And of course, I cannot do a look without the Givenchy Healthy Glow Powder, so this is the one in number 2, and I'm running that all over my face just to get that nice bronziness going on. And then we're moving on to the lower lash line. So I'm using the Pigment Pomade in my waterline yet again, as I did in my last look as well. I really love the way that it looks. I actually prefer it in my waterline rather than on my eyelids as an eyeliner, because I just felt like it glided on so much more easily. It was really kind of tugging in a bit, even too dry for eyeliner, I felt like. Anyway, I'm going in with the shade Keen, and I'm running that all over my lower lash line, and I'm using the Urban Decay Vice brush, and I'm using the more fluffy end of that dual-ended brush. And then I turn the brush over and I use the shade Mint, and I'm only putting that on the kind of outer half of my lower lash line. Kind of just bringing it halfway in. And then I'm taking the shade Breezy, and that one I'm taking on an Urban Decay Naked dual-ended brush, and I'm using the very, very slim end of it. And I'm just running that on the front part of my lower lash line, and then turning the brush over again and just running over the whole lower lash line, just to make sure that everything is blending into one another seamlessly. And I really like the way that the shade Breezy makes the eye look kind of turquoise, bluish, greenish. It's just, I really love the mixture of the 2 colors. And then I'm just using some Wet n Wild highlighter in my inner corners and underneath my brow bone as well. And I'm using the shade Blossom Glow, but it just felt like maybe too pink on its own, so I decided to take the shade Queenie from the palette, which is very, very kind of bronzy, goldeny shade, and I just tapped over the inner corners a bit. And then I'm curling my lashes, as I always do, before going in with some mascara, and I'm using my favorite. This is the Paradise Extatic mascara. This is the waterproof one by L'Oreal. I don't know if I said that, but yeah. I'm coating my lashes, and then I, of course, am going in with some falsies because this look is screaming for those. And I'm applying the Doll Beauty eyelashes in the style Stephanie. I'm also putting the mascara on my bottom lashes, and then I am going in with some liquid lip. But this is the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Sao Paulo, but I really didn't feel like it kind of went with the look. You don't see me doing it on camera, but I did change the lip off camera. So I took this off because it was kind of washing me out too much, I felt like. So I applied my trusty Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow, and that completed this makeup look. I have to be completely honest, this look was not exactly what I had in mind. It's just one of those days, you know. I had envisioned something slightly more different, and to be honest, if I were to go back and do the whole look again, I would probably skip on the eyeliner on the top lid because I don't feel like it's very necessary. The lashes with the black and the yellow, they create such a strong contrast and they kind of hide the blue liner anyway. It really isn't all too necessary, and it makes the look even more simple. Even though this look did not turn out quite as I had hoped or expected it to, I still think it's a very fun, very colourful, summery kind of makeup look. And I also very much enjoy the fact that I think it is making my eyes a bit more brown. I feel like it's really bringing the brown out in my hazel eyes. So yeah, I'm very much digging that. But that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any more suggestions, if you want to see any more like summery makeup tutorials, then leave your suggestions down below. You can also always suggest palettes that you would like me to do tutorials with. Let me know if you would like to see something specific, and that's it, really. So if you enjoyed this kind of summery, colourful makeup look, then give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would really mean the world to me to have you join my little family on YouTube. Thanks so much again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!